Hey everybody, it's Dana and welcome back. Today I'm starting my Valentine's Day card series for 2019. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting out with some of my favorite things, smooth white cardstock, and I decided to make a really pretty background for this card today. I have some iridescent paints in a shade of wonderful colors, and I'm going to choose the rose gold. As you can see, I went ahead and I wet the paint with a little bit of water. I have a tendency to keep a little bottle of water on my desk at all times, so when I want to create watercolor or do splatter, it's handy and it's convenient. I went ahead and loaded up my brush, and now I'm just going to tap down some of that color. Now, doing this technique can get a little bit messy, but it will give you such a beautiful look. You can also dab on little droplets of water if that's a little bit easy for you. Sometimes tapping on a paintbrush might give you a splatter technique that you're not really fond of. So you can also place down the paint wherever you like. I'm going back in and I'm adding some more splatter marks. Now, the heavier you put this, the more splatter and a little bit longer dry time on this. You can use different kinds of paintbrushes, some that have bigger heads on them or smaller heads, and that's going to change the way your splatter marks are. Now, since I have all of that gorgeous splattering down, I'm going to set this aside to dry. I don't want to heat set this because I'm going to be working on different parts, so I can let this sit aside. But look how gorgeous that color is. Okay, now I have some beautiful pink paper and glitter paper, and I'm using the Hearts Entwine die from My Favorite Things. This came out the 8th of January, and it's my absolute go-to heart die now. I love it. I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and I went ahead and cut all of those pieces out. So you can see I have two beautiful pink pieces, and I have that gorgeous rose gold glitter paper. Now, the easiest way I have found to put this together is just to add some glue dots. Now, mind you, yes, this is a very big or a larger die, but it really does not take that much time. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want a thicker embellishment on my card. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to stack them all on top of each other. Doing this allows me to have a sturdier die cut than if I just cut this out one time. So I'm just going to gently press all of that together, and look how gorgeous it is. And the reason I chose pink to be underneath is I wanted you to see color underneath that just was not white. All right, so now I can go ahead and set this aside while I go ahead and start building my card. Now, this is going to be a really simple card. I'm not going to add too much fuss to this. So I already used some tape runner on the back of that beautiful panel, and I'm sticking that down to a A2 white card base. Now I can bring in that gorgeous heart. Now look how beautiful and simplistic that is. Now I do want to leave enough space on the bottom to add a sentiment. So I went ahead and I grabbed in my mini Misty, and I'm using one of the sentiment from the Sassy Pants Love, which is also from My Favorite Things. I'll line that up across the bottom of that beautiful splattered panel, and I'll use black ink with this. The reason I chose black ink because I was debating to just go ahead and heat emboss this, but I do want the sentiment to be nice and stark. Now, I did do a very similar card like this, and it's over on my blog, and I'll link to that in the description box below. So just so you can see that you can do this die in a rainbow color if you want of colors on cards. So don't always think you have to stick with red to do these hearts. They can be purple, they can be pink, they can be green, any color you want. Now, since I have that stamped out, there's really not much more to do to put this card together. Now I'll grab back in, and look how gorgeous that stark sentiment looks on that white background. Now to get this put together, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use that glue. Now the glue is from Gina K and it's her Connect glue. And this is a staple that sits on my table constantly. It's turned upside down in a little holder and it's always ready when I need it. Now, since I have everything covered up with just those small little dots, now if you did want to use release paper, stick it release paper, just be very careful because this is a thin die. So that's why I chose to just go ahead and use the liquid adhesive. And it also gives me an opportunity to shift this around on my card before it settles down. Now all I had to do is press that down and now I'm going to add in some sequins. I don't want a lot of distraction on this, so I'm using the sparkling clear confetti, or I think this might be silver confetti from Pretty Pink Posh. I'm just going to add a few of these on here because again, I don't really want anything to distract from my hearts, but I do want to add a little bit of sparkle to this. Now, if you have missed any of my previous Valentine's Day card series, I have a playlist available for you to watch them. I love being inspired to do love-filled cards, even if they're not for Valentine's Day, just to show somebody you love them and you care. Does not need to be on a particular day. You can do that year around. All right, and that is day one of the Valentine's Day card series. I will see you guys in another video soon. Take care, and until next time, stay safe. Bye-bye.